Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia, and Seth Rollins successfully wins the Crown Jewel Championship by cheating and beating Cody Rhodes without suffering a shoulder injury, and is continuing his dominance as the World Heavyweight Champion on Monday Night Raw. Speaking of which, CM Punk becomes the #1 contender by winning a triple threat match against Jey Uso and LA Knight, and will face Seth Rollins as his next challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship at the next episode of Saturday night's main event. But the Vision is not gonna let Punk even make it to Saturday night's main event, because Braun Breaker knocks CM Punk off the ropes and nails him with a spear. Bronson Reed enters the frame and wants to break Punk in half with a tsunami, which he does. Seth Rollins is standing in the middle of the ring, standing tall. But the next week, it is time for contract signing. The contract of the match between these two, so CM Punk could finally get a one-on-one match against Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship, this time planning not to be screwed by the Vision. You know what this is, Punk? This is proof that time moves on. You hate me because I became everything you wanted to be. Champion, leader, and untouchable, and hell, even when you climbed your way to the top, I was the one screwing you over. Untouchable? That's interesting coming from a guy who never touches me without help. You hide behind Braun, you hide behind Reed. Hell, you even hide behind Paul Heyman now. And you keep talking about dominance and movements, but underneath all of that noise, you're still the same insecure little kid begging people to believe he's the guy. You may be champion, you may have the numbers, you may have the power, but there's one thing that keeps eating you alive every single night. You never beat me clean. Not once. Because you were never meant to be the one. And deep down, you know when it's just you and me, that title doesn't belong to you. But on the other side of battles, the other members of the Vision are still dealing with LA Knight and Jey Uso, which leads to a one-on-one match between Bronson Reed and LA Knight, where Braun Breaker tries to get involved, but Jey Uso is here too to even the odds. However, there's also animosity between Jey Uso and LA Knight, and these two don't get along well with one another. And that's why LA Knight is shouting at Jey, telling him that he shouldn't be out here. But that gives Bronson Reed the chance to recover and lift LA Knight up from behind and deliver the Jagged Edge Death Valley Driver. That gives Bronson Reed a massive victory over LA Knight, and another big victory for the Vision as they're clearing the scene from their enemies. But that doesn't mean they're gonna be done, because the next week we see LA Knight and Jey Uso continuing the argument in the backstage with CM Punk looking on. If anyone's gonna help CM Punk in the battle against the Vision, it's gonna be these two. But these two aren't even on the same page, so CM Punk is disappointed and leaves. But then on the other side of backstage, we see Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed putting Jimmy Uso through a table with the tsunami. Jimmy's taken out, and Jey hears the sound of the table break. He runs to see what is happening, and he sees his brother unconscious, down, put through a table, while the Vision runs away. Now it's time for Saturday night's main event, the final chapter. CM Punk finally getting Seth Rollins one-on-one in this massive matchup for the biggest prize of Monday Night Raw. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line, and CM Punk believes that Seth Rollins can't beat him when it comes to one-on-one battles. However, Seth Rollins is also trying his best to prove Punk wrong. But Punk is right, because as we get into the deep waters of this match, Braun Breaker walks down the ramp and tries to interfere. However, Jey Uso is here and delivers a super kick right to his face, and is not gonna let him do what he plans. Bronson Reed is also countered by LA Knight, who arrives from the other side. And these two men, even though they are not on the same page, but the same enemies, brings them together. CM Punk delivers a knee in the corner, followed by a bulldog to the World Heavyweight Champion, and calls for the GTS. There's no Vision involved. They are countered, and CM Punk lifts Seth Rollins up for a GTS to end him once and for all. But then he sees something which distracts him. A hooded figure, a masked man, is standing in front of the stage, and it seems he's here to help the Vision, to help Seth Rollins, and this distraction gives Seth Rollins just enough chance to come down and roll Punk up, which Punk kicks out at 2.9, but before he could get back to his feet, his head is stomped back down to the mat, this time for a 1, 2, 3. And Seth Rollins beats CM Punk again to retain his World Heavyweight Championship. But who was that hooded figure? Was he even someone that Seth Rollins recruited? A possible new member of the Vision? Well, on the next episode of Monday Night Raw, CM Punk is furious, pissed off, talking about the exact same thing. He calls out the Vision, he calls out Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins, and even the Masked Man to see what the hell is going on around here. And Paul Heyman does answer CM Punk's call out and is telling him that even though they do not have a single thing to do with the Masked Man, they are so satisfied with the outcome, which was a loss and the fury of CM Punk. Paul Heyman states that the Vision is not going to play any more games. He says that if Punk continues this way, it's not going to end well for him, because not only the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins joins the frame, but so do Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. This is going to be a 3-on-1 beatdown on CM Punk, just like Paul Heyman threatened him. And Punk is all alone in the middle of the ring, or so we think. He's got backup. The Yeet Man Jey Uso enters the ring, as well as LA Knight. And the brawl begins. The Vision versus CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Jey Uso, and this is how Monday Night Raw goes off the air. But on the next week, we have a very special guest on Monday Night Raw who has some words for Seth Rollins. Hey Seth, long time no see. I did not come here to Raw for no reason. I haven't forgotten what you did to me at Crown Jewel. I want my revenge. And I've heard that a War Games match is gonna take place at Survivor Series. Just wanted to say it to your face that I'm gonna fight you back for my revenge. And I will do that at Survivor Series. Cody Rhodes comes back to Monday Night Raw for a War Games match, and he's gonna be the fourth man of CM Punk's team, which brings Drew McIntyre into the story as well. The man who is suspended but is still under a WWE contract, and that means he can join the War Games team, and Paul Heyman brings him to the team. Also, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns return to action and enter as the fifth man of each team for this War Games match, and the War Games begins. Survivor Series War Games, The Vision, Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, the Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. An all-star War Games match taking place at Survivor Series, in which LA Knight and Jey Uso aren't working properly as a team. The match continues and all 10 competitors are beating the living hell out of each other until the point that everyone gets taken down except for Seth Rollins and CM Punk, where the Masked Man appears again. This time, it's more than a distraction. He is actually doing something. He low blows CM Punk from behind and runs away. Seth Rollins is shocked. It seems that they don't have anything to do with this, but Seth Rollins does not have any problem with it as he stomps CM Punk again to pin him one more time and win the War Games match. So, Rollins, Reed, Breaker, Lesnar, and McIntyre stand tall against their opponents as the winners of the 2025 War Games match. And later on, it is revealed that that Masked Man is Austin Theory. This man explains he did this as an anonymous man because he wanted everyone to see his actions before they see who he is. And it seems that he wants to join the Vision. But the post-match segment of the War Games match will direct us to the future. Do you realize what just happened there? That wasn't just a loss, that was a damn embarrassment. You two fighting each other throughout the match, acting like children, which cost us everything. LA Knight sarcastically responds, "Oh yeah, because Mr. Locker Room Leader's got all the answers now? At least I know how to work with a team. And you? What exactly did bringing Drew into this situation accomplish? You knew he hated you, you knew he would get involved, and instead of handling your own business, you dragged all of us into it. Not only did you fail to help this team, you made it worse. He was all over you during this match, and you couldn't do a single thing about it. Punk, be careful. You want to blame somebody because things didn't go your way? Fine, but don't stand there pretending you carried this team. You spent this time acting like the savior of WWE, and what happened tonight? We weren't the only one who lost. You lost too. And don't make me remind you that you were the one who got pinned. You know what your problem is, Punk? You walk into every room thinking you're the smartest person in it. And that ego is exactly the reason why we failed. Huh, now you want to talk about my problem. Let's talk about your problem, Cody. You spent so long chasing your story that you forgot this ain't about you anymore. And you spent so long trying to prove you still belong that you can't handle not being the center of the attention. You know what, Cody? You may be right. I lost too. But look at us. This was an all-star team. The biggest names in this industry from both brands. And we still couldn't take down the Vision. So if we couldn't do it this way, then who the hell can? Immediately after this question, the fifth man walks past them, seeming like he knows the answer to this question. The tribal chief leaves the scene. From now on, Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre return to SmackDown as these two go through hell for the Undisputed Championship, with Drew McIntyre eventually standing tall by capturing the Undisputed title. But on the other side of things, on Monday Night Raw, LA Knight and Jey Uso want to settle things in the middle of the ring. Jey Uso has started to change and acts differently from who he was, from the version of him that became the World Heavyweight Champion, and LA Knight realizes that, and that's why their rivalry still continues. But CM Punk, after getting pinned twice by Seth Rollins, can easily get another World Heavyweight Championship shot, and that's why, for now, he's focusing on getting his revenge from the Vision, starting with the very man who was the reason that Punk got pinned twice, Austin Theory. But from then, he has to focus to get another shot at the World Heavyweight Championship, and he wants to do that by winning the Royal Rumble. And in the Royal Rumble match, it has come down to three men: CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes. All these three were on the same team in the War Games match, but now they want to main event WrestleMania. CM Punk is the one who strikes first after the stare down between the three, slaps after slaps to both men, until he sends Cody Rhodes onto the apron and returns to Roman Reigns, but Roman lifts him up from behind and takes him down with the power slam. Then he turns his attention to Cody Rhodes, which Cody counters, but he's screwed over again by Drew McIntyre. And Drew eliminates Cody Rhodes from the Royal Rumble matchup, and that means we are now down to two: CM Punk and Roman Reigns exchanging blows in the middle of the ring. Who will main event WrestleMania? CM Punk goes off the ropes and wants to take down Roman, but he's caught with a massive spear, and the tribal chief is gonna do the unthinkable. He delivers another Superman punch, ducks underneath, and delivers another spear to CM Punk and eliminates him to win the Royal Rumble for the second time in his career. The tribal chief is the winner of the 2026 Royal Rumble match, and we almost know that who he will choose as his opponent at WrestleMania, because he has the revenge to take. And he can't even wait until the next episode of Raw, because during the post-show of Royal Rumble, he interrupts everyone and sends a message. He wants the cameraman to capture his words. Look at me. The entire world should look at me, especially Seth Rollins. I want your ass this Monday on Raw. You already knew that I'd be coming for you. Now, what better way to do it in the main event of WrestleMania? We'll talk more this Monday. But remember one thing, Seth. If there's anything from the Seth Rollins that I used to call my brother in the Shield left in you, come alone. I'm gonna see you this Monday. And even though we still don't know that is there anything from the old Seth Rollins, from the Shield version of Seth Rollins left in him, he does come alone on Monday Night Raw. So here we are, Roman Reigns. After everything, after losing your bloodline, after disappearing, somehow you still found your way back. Or it's better to say, somehow you still found your way back to me. People keep calling this destiny, but no, this is consequence. Every major moment in your career somehow leads back to me, the Shield, the betrayal, the rise and the fall. And eventually, Roman, you always end up standing across from me. Are you done? Because for me, this is just the beginning. You know why I told you to come alone? I wanted to see if you still remembered how to stand on your own. Standing on my own? Be careful when you talk about that. You're not exactly in a position to talk about losing people. True, but at least they were my family. But unlike me, you don't build loyalty, Seth. You recruit people, you use people, and eventually, they all will figure out who the hell you really are. It's funny coming from a guy like you. No, the funny thing is watching you pretend this vision stuff is a strength. That championship isn't your vision. It's your hiding place. You think I'm hiding? Roman, I built this era while you disappeared. I adapted, I evolved, and I did most of that standing on my own. I became the standard around here. You see it like that. But the truth is, you got scared, and you lost control, and it broke you. So now you surround yourself with a new shield because you can't handle standing alone anymore. You can't lie to me. I know you better than anybody. I was there before the suits, before the ego. I remember the real Seth Rollins. And deep down, you still can't stand the fact that I became the face of this company. If you are the face of the company, then why are you so obsessed with me? Why did you choose me? Aren't you the same guy that called this title the secondary title? Now you're fighting your way back to me, to this title, while you still claim that you are the face of this company? Neither of those are the reason I chose you, Seth. I chose you because this never ended. But at WrestleMania, this year, it will end. There's nowhere left to run. This time, only one of us will stand tall. The words aren't the only part of this road to WrestleMania. Attacks and brawls are. The newest member of the Vision, Austin Theory, wants to prove himself to the group, and he attacks Roman Reigns in the backstage. The other members of the Vision want to take Roman Reigns down as well, but Braun Breaker gets a Superman punch because Roman Reigns is aware of him. However, he's not aware of Bronson Reed, who arrives from behind with the steel chair shot to his spine. He delivers a couple of more and takes control of Roman Reigns. He puts him on the table and is climbing an ambulance nearby. He wants to tsunami Roman Reigns through it. This way, he may not even make it to WrestleMania. But then, we see someone saving Roman Reigns. Jey Uso is here, dragging him out of the scene. Where we move on to the next week. In the locker room, where Jey Uso approaches Roman Reigns. You ain't gotta say thank you. Good, because I wasn't planning to. See? That's exactly what I'm talking about. What are you talking about, Jay? You act like I did something wrong saving you last week. I told you I don't want your help and I don't want to see you. Yeah, I remember. You told me that after Crown Jewel too, right? It was a mistake. It was an accidental spear that put you through the table and cost the match against Bronson Reed, yeah. But suddenly, you don't want to see the Usos anymore. Do you know how embarrassing that was? You cost me the match, Jay. By accident, Us. That doesn't change the results. But you know what's crazy? I still came back. You pushed me away. You made it clear we weren't family anymore. Hell, at War Games, we were on the same team, and you still acted like I wasn't even there. Because I needed teammates, not emotions. Yeah, there it is. That tribal chief mindset again. Jay, I don't have time for this. But do you want to know why I keep my distance? Because every time I trust somebody, it blows up in my face. And don't act like that you didn't do the same thing too. So now everybody will pay for it? That's how business works. Nah, Roman, that's how you work, Goose. You don't understand. Last week, when I saw Bronson up there, I didn't see you on that table. I saw Jimmy. I watched them take my brother out the same way, while I was there but couldn't do a single thing. Months gone, family gone, and for what? I couldn't watch it happen again to another family member. And I don't care if you did want that help or not. I didn't want that to happen again. Damn, y'all still doing this? I leave for a few months and suddenly everybody forgot how to act. Big Oos, he saved you. And you acting angry at the whole world now, Oos. I get it. Both of y'all got reasons. But this right here, this ain't helping nobody except Seth Rollins and his vision. Did we spend too many years fighting together just to keep standing around acting like strangers? Things changed, Jimmy. Yeah, they did, Big Oos. But blood shouldn't feel this temporary. I'm glad to see you back, Jimmy. Glad that you're okay. But I'm gonna tell you what I told Jay. I didn't ask to be saved, and I am not asking for any help. Roman Reigns makes it clear that he hasn't forgotten Crown Jewel and that accidental spear by Jey Uso that cost him the match against Bronson Reed. But Seth Rollins is here to play mind games, and that's why, on the next episode of Raw, before the show officially starts, he records a message for Roman Reigns. I'm standing in the middle of this ring, alone. The fans haven't arrived yet. My teammates haven't arrived yet. So, I wanted to take my time and bring back some nostalgia. You know what the strangest part about time is? You don't notice it happening. One second you're three idiots walking through the crowd thinking you're gonna change the world, and the next second, one of you is gone. People always talk about the Shield like it was perfection. Yeah, we fought constantly. We were stubborn. We were selfish. But we were real. Roman became the king, the face of the company, the tribal chief. We talk about Roman. Why not talk about Dean? Crazy, right? Feels illegal to do that. But that's the thing about history. You can't rebrand it. You can't rewrite it. You can't trademark it. But you can't erase it. People think the night I hit Roman with the chair was the moment the Shield died. No, the Shield died slowly. A little more every year. Different goals, different egos, different lives. One guy became Hollywood. One guy became the face of another company. And one guy stayed. That's what nobody understands about me. I never left this place. I changed with it. I survived every version of it. Roman left and came back stronger. Dean left because he couldn't breathe here anymore. And me, I learned how to become part of the machine. But you know what hurts the most? For a little while, we really believed we would do this forever. And that's the cruel part about growing up. Nobody tells you when the good days are happening. Roman thinks this story is about revenge. No, it's about memory. It's about the different visions we had in the Shield. But after WrestleMania, only one version of the Shield survives. After all these years, the Shield story and Seth Rollins are still under Roman Reigns' skin, and that's why he calls out Seth Rollins with fury. And Seth Rollins arrives for a final face-to-face before WrestleMania. Look at us, Roman. After all these years, it still comes back to this. The crazy part is, everybody thinks they know our story. They talk about the Shield like it was some brotherhood. But nah, it was survival. Three ambitious men climbing over everybody in this business trying to become the guy. And eventually, you became the chosen one. The company chose you. The fans acknowledged you. The machine was built around you. And somehow, I was always the villain for refusing to stand in your shadow. And now, you became angry because of the funeral of the Shield that I held last week? Roman responds, no. You became the villain because every time somebody loved you, you betrayed them. Dean, the Shield, the fans, even yourself. You want to talk betrayal? You manipulated your own blood for years. You gaslit your family. You abused loyalty. You turned their love into fear. And now you stand here pretending you're better than me? It was just a couple of years ago that you had the bloodline around, and the fans may have forgotten that. But I do not forget what piece of a trash you were and you still are. I never pretended to be the hero. That's the difference between us. You keep dressing yourself up as a revolutionary, but underneath all of that vision talk, you're still the same insecure little brother trying to prove he mattered. It's funny how you're trying to sell me as the little brother of the Shield. Because the truth is completely different. I made you. That chair shot created Roman Reigns. Without me, there is no tribal chief, no empire, no history. And that's your real problem. You can't stand the fact that the greatest thing you ever did was make me. You spent your whole career chasing this idea that you were the mastermind, but every road led back to me. Because no matter how many groups you build, no matter how many people you hide behind, you were never the guy. And the second that things got hard, you recruited a crew. Because you were scared. You don't know what it's like. Every single year, hearing people say your name before mine, watching them crown you while I bled for this place. I gave everything to this business, and they still chose you. Because I could handle being the face while you couldn't. After that, they start punching each other in the face in the middle of the ring. This is a preview of what's gonna happen at WrestleMania 42, the main event of night 2, two brothers of the Shield clashing at the ultimate battle. And now, we're gonna get a bit of the taste of what's gonna happen at the grandest stage of them all. Seth Rollins joins Roman Reigns out there on the announce table and delivers a punch to his face, with Roman counters his attack and is putting the World Heavyweight Champion through the announce table with the Uranagi. And the crowd acknowledges the man, the original Tribal Chief, standing tall before WrestleMania. But later that night, where Seth is beaten down, walking to the backstage, he sees Braun Breaker standing alone, and he wants to talk to him. Braun, where were you guys? I was getting beaten out there. Where were you? Well, Seth, I've just been informed that we're gonna have a 6-man tag team match against the Usos and LA Knight, so we were planning what to do at Mania with Bronson and Theory. Braun, you realize that I'm part of the biggest match of this year's WrestleMania, right? Yeah, but we've got our own match too. And if you would let me, I'm gonna find Paul Heyman for a bit of advice. On SmackDown, Cody Rhodes reclaims the Undisputed Championship after his story with Drew McIntyre, and the winner of the 2026 Elimination Chamber match, CM Punk, is gonna face this man, Cody Rhodes, for the Undisputed Championship at WrestleMania. But the match at WrestleMania that we want to take a look at is the World Heavyweight Championship on Night 2 between the original Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, and the champion himself, the Visionary, the leader of the Vision, Seth freaking Rollins. And the match is a long time coming, more than a decade in the making, as these two started things off by debuting as the Shield. And now they're battling one another in the main event of WrestleMania for the biggest prize of Monday Night Raw. At some point, Roman Reigns is calling for another spear, is looking to end Seth Rollins once and for all, but as he runs, Seth moves, and he sends the spear into the referee, and Roman accidentally took down the official, so that means the Vision's gonna get involved. But Roman has got backup. The Vision's opponents at Night 1, Jimmy Uso and LA Knight, are here to even the odds against Braun Breaker and Austin Theory, but LA Knight is getting a spear by Braun, while on the other side, Austin Theory delivers a knockout punch to Jimmy Uso. Bronson Reed arrives from the other side, but here comes the third man of the other team as well. Jey Uso's here, and he takes down Bronson Reed as well, and then he enters the ring and confronts the Tribal Chief. And he tells Roman, "So you told me that you're not asking for help, huh? I didn't ask you to come. That's always been your problem." But before they could continue the argument, Austin Theory arrives, but Jey Uso is aware of him and super kicks him. And Roman Reigns doesn't want to argue anymore. Instead of shouting at Jey, he spears Theory in half in the middle of the ring. But Bronson Reed returns and takes down Roman Reigns. He goes after Jey Uso and sends him out. He puts him on the announce table and wants to end him. He delivers a massive tsunami splash from the top rope through the announce table at ringside, which takes both of them down. And Seth Rollins returns and wants to take advantage of this. He stomps Roman Reigns not once, but twice. 2 stomps in the middle of the ring, but he's not done yet. He's setting Roman in position for Braun Breaker, who's now in the ring to spear him. But Roman counters and sets Seth Rollins into the spear from Braun. Braun Breaker just cuts Seth in half, and Roman delivers a Superman punch to send Braun out of the ring, and delivers another one to Seth. The referee's back as well, and Roman spears Seth Rollins to pin him and beat Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at the main event of WrestleMania. Roman Reigns did it. he beat Seth Rollins, and he won the World Heavyweight Championship, and that was thanks to Braun Breaker. And Braun thinks that he may have disappointed Seth Rollins because he did that by accident, and Seth lost because of him. But what Braun sees is not an accident. What he believes is that losers must be kicked out. And he's doing the exact same thing, kicking out the loser out of the team by spearing the leader of the vision that may be no more at the grandest stage of them all to start a new story.